Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Can you believe, Rose, this is episode,
What?
I think this is episode 65.
Really?
Yes.
Holy mother. Where has the year gone?
Oh my God. Where has the year gone?
I don't know.
You realize
we're coming to 1 year of this pandemic.
I was just going to say that. How crazy. I was just on a call with my boss today from work, and we were just chatting and stuff, and he was like, yeah, so we've pretty much been working from home for a year now. And I was like, what? And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh my God, it actually has been a year.
Because it's almost been March. In about 2 weeks, I think maybe in about 3 weeks, it'll be about a year, because lockdown started here anyways around March, mid-March.
Yeah. I think it was like that in a lot of places. Yeah. Spain was like that as well.
Yeah. It all shit hit the fan mid-March, dude.
God
shit
damn.
hit the fan.
Shit really, it really hit the fan.
Even though at that moment, the numbers were so much lower
than they are now. I know.
Yeah.
It was funny because everyone was freaking out back in March. And you're right. The numbers were half or less than half of when it got really bad in November. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and
pretty
now,
crazy.
people are a little bit more nonchalant.
I think people are getting tired of the, they're getting the
oh my God, seriously
fatigue.
though. I am so over it, but I mean, what are we going to do?
Well, like I said, I think things are globally also getting better. Cases are going down in a lot of places. So
where are you getting this optimism from, Daniel? Is this true?
It is true.
I have not looked at the numbers, but what about the new variant?
I know this new variant's throwing a little curveball in the mix. How there's a few new variants, and they said that they think that the vaccine is still good against all of them, but there's some speculation about this. I think it was the South African variant or something like that being more resistant to the vaccine. But at the end of the day, with these types of viruses, there's always going to be this kind of cat and mouse game almost, because if you think about any viruses just naturally they do mutate over time, right? That's why with the flu shot, for example, you have to get it every single year, because you can't just be inoculated against the flu, because it's always mutating and changing into new variants of the type style or type of flu, so you always have to get the next vaccine in the year after. So I wonder if with COVID we're just gonna have to get a yearly vaccine or something.
But other pandemics, they just got rid of them. How did they do that? Swine flu, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Is it because the death rate was so much higher, so people just died?
I think that's part of it. Remember that disease specialist or whatever, he was saying about how generally, which it does kind of logically make sense, if a disease or a virus is so deadly, people die out faster.
Oh my God.
I also think.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I'm using AirPods because I can't find my other earphones.
Oh, you fancy, hey?
And I'm really not, okay. I don't like AirPods. Okay, Can I just go on a random rant here?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, because I was rudely interrupted by my AirPods disconnecting because I took one out. Anyways, maybe I don't know how to work AirPods. I don't know. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the thing with AirPods, and I thought it was just I had a faulty pair, okay?
Yeah.
But basically, they always disconnect. They have issues connecting. There's always one ear that's not working. And then it's just, and I'm like, these are very expensive earphones. Yeah. And I don't know if again, I thought it was just mine. But my roommate is also having the same issue with her AirPods.
See, that would piss me off.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't get it. Am I missing something? I don't know. Maybe we both have faulty pairs, but who knows?
It could be. I mean, this is the thing. I did end up getting like a nicer pair of headphones. These ones are obviously like really cheap that I'm using right now, but I have a pair of oh my God, what are they called? Beats. I had a Beat, like little Beats ones, but not like the really big ones, but like the ones that clip on your ear for like running and stuff.
Yeah. Do they have wires?
They only have one. So you clip them here and then there's just a wire that attaches them to the back. And I love it because like they're like, they clip on, they're super easy. Like they'll stay on my ear no matter what, pretty much. Cause they're like clipped on there. And also because you have that wire, I feel like they're like, it's going to be harder to lose them, right? I feel like with an AirPod, I feel like I would lose it. Like I would lose that shit,
That's the thing too. Yeah. Anyways. So I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but, I actually don't use them very often. I actually end up using like my cheaper, like, Bluetooth headphones whenever I'm like going for a run because they disconnect less. Like, isn't that weird?
That is weird. And that's bad. Like, that's just like, whoa, what was that? Now something's going on with the technology over here. There was like a flashlight on my Mac.
What?
God damn, it looked like someone was taking a picture. God
damn. My God.
Yeah, very strange.
You have a hacker in your Mac. Be careful what you watch on the internet, Daniel.
I'll try. You don't want to know what I'll be watching on the internet, Rose?
I don't think I want to know, Daniel. I don't want to know. Daniel, so should we tell the viewers about one of us that was a little bit too drunk over the weekend, so couldn't go for a walk?
No, Rose, we should not tell our viewers anything about that.
You know, one of my joys in life is outing you on this podcast. I think it's one of my favorite things to do.
I feel like honestly, you finish this podcast and Rose has like a little list. Do you know what I mean? And she's, you know, the thing with Rose too, is she's really good at this. She'll like, it's almost like she has this like mental book of notes where something will happen. Like I'll do something and then Rose will be like, yep, she won't say anything, but she'll be like, that's noted, right? It's like stored back there for later. And then like 4 years later, she'll be like, do you remember that one time when we were at my house and you said this? And I'm like, no, of course I don't remember that. It was 4 years ago. Nope.
Well, Daniel, this wasn't 4 years ago. This was over the weekend.
I know.
So Daniel and I were supposed to go for a nice little walk because it was lovely and nice out. And then we were supposed to meet at 11 o'clock, guys, 11 a.m., which is not that early, okay? And I texted him at about 10 o'clock. And I was like, Daniel, are we still good? And then I didn't hear back for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And I just knew. I know you so well. I was like, this bitch is hungover. I was like, Daniel, are you hungover? And then you're like, I'm hungover as fuck.
I was, yeah. So I profusely apologize. I did feel really, really bad.
No, and then you tried to like, because at first I was like, you know what? At first I was like, are you okay? Do you still want to go for this walk? And you're like, yes, sure, I'm fine. But like, and I was like, you don't sound fine. So I gave you an out. I was like, you know what? It's fine if you want to stay home and rest. Because I know what it feels like to be hungover. Okay, I know it feels like shit. You probably don't want to do anything. And then he's like, you had the audacity to be like, yeah, I mean, I know you have a really busy day today, Rose. I mean, I know you have a lot going on today. So like, yeah, like it would be okay if we don't go for the walk. I'm like, Daniel. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I didn't know you were such a generous, kind being that you're just allowing me to have this time off. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that you got completely smashed the day before.
Well, you know what, Rose? It shouldn't come as a surprise to you that I am a very kind and considerate person, you know? So I was looking out for you, and I did know you had like so much planned that day. You were so busy, so
that made me laugh so hard. And it was immediately after I was like, "If you're too hungover, we don't have to do this." And then you're like, "Oh, well, I know you have a very busy day." So, how was your hangover, Daniel?
Oh God, I'm just too old to be drinking like this anymore because like I just
How much did you drink, Daniel? Let's talk about it.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about it. I'm embarrassed. Okay,
just give me a rundown. It's fine. It's once in a while. I'm assuming you didn't have a proper dinner. That's my.
I don't think I did. Yeah.
It's always like that, guys. Guys, lesson number 1 when it comes to drinking. Okay, eat properly. Like eat a full meal before drinking, and that is like
so important.
90% of the time, that will prevent you from being a complete mess.
Exactly. Because if you eat, yeah, you're right. If you eat like a proper meal, the next day you might feel a bit shit, but you won't feel to like that place where you feel like you're in like basically a very dark place where you can barely crawl out of your bed because everything physically hurts and your brain feels like you can't even do anything or function. So,
and you also won't get that drunk in the first place. Like you won't be so out of control. At least like from my experience and from your experience, like anytime we didn't eat properly is when like all the regrets come the next day.
Of course. And it's funny because, we both say this and you're much better than I am, but we still, make this mistake of like, because
it's a constant mental reminder.
It is. It's like, ooh, even that one time you're like, oh, you forgot to eat a proper dinner or whatever. And then you have a few drinks and then the next day you're like, fuck.
Because once you start drinking too, it's like weird. You forget to eat.
This is it.
This is the problem.
This is part of the problem. Part of the big problem is not eating, but then part of it is you're right. As soon as you start drinking, I don't know what happens. Maybe it's like the chemicals in the alcohol or whatever. But yeah, you just don't feel like you need to eat. You just keep drinking. And that's a problem.
Yeah. This is a big problem. Yes.
A big problem.
We should just eat when we are drinking. Like, Korean people, actually, whenever Korean people drink, they always eat. It's like maybe not whenever, but like traditionally, that's always how it has been. So there's like an actual term for like food that you eat when you're drinking, which is very smart. Because
that
like
is very smart.
Unless you go to like a Western style bar, like you're going to go to a bar and you always order food with your drinks.
Yeah. Actually, it kind of like in Spain, it's like that as well. Because whenever you go for beers or you're going for drinks, you have tapas. Right? Like you have food while you're drinking. So I think that's probably, that's so smart. Like why at 32 years old do I not do this? Fuck. Anyway, I'm still, even today, I woke up today for work and I was fine.
You're still
you know what I mean?
it?
But even today, I'm just feeling like a little bit like as soon as I finished work, I like laid down for a little bit and I was like, fuck my life, And I had, a lot that I wanted to do this weekend and I'm just mad. I was mad at myself. And
you were feeling very guilty, but you know what?
Yeah.
We all have those moments. Mm-hmm. You were like full on guilt mode. I was like, Daniel, it's okay.
I know. Well, I felt really shitty. Yeah. I felt shitty partly because I really did want to go on a walk. And I also felt shitty because there's a ton of stuff that I wanted to do on top of us going for a walk. Like I had cleaning I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the shop and pick up a few things. Like there's a few things that I wanted to do. And I'm just like, my whole day ruined.
This is the problem with drinking.
Yeah.
Why do we do this to ourselves? This is a problem.
It is a problem.
It's the most socially accepted drug.
Oh, God.
Why do we allow this to happen? Mm-hmm. I blame society. I don't blame us. I blame society.
I mean, we're part of the problem being the kind of, but yeah. Anyway.
So wait, how much did you drink? Let's talk about it for 2 seconds. I'm very curious. I haven't spoken to Daniel since this moment, so I need to know you guys. These are the details I need to know.
I mean, it was a lot. Like, it was a lot.
Like wine. What was the drink of choice, Daniel? Was it wine? Was it cocktails? Was it beer?
Prosecco. We had some Prosecco. And I had, what else did I have? And Corona. A lot of Corona.
Well, that's a very interesting mixture of
I know.
Of alcohol. Oh. You don't want to think about it, hey?
No, I don't even want to talk about it, Rose. Do not. I don't want to be outed on this podcast anymore.
Okay, we will move on from this topic. I have sufficiently outed you, so I am satisfied. Next time, if I have these moments, you can make fun of me, okay?
Oh, I will.
I know you will.
Noted, Rose. So,
do we have stories?
We have stories.
Oh,
I feel like
said it in a very serious way. Okay.
Well, it kind of goes along with what I did on the weekend. Not what I did on the weekend, but I was a little bit of an idiot. I drank too much. And I feel like the theme of a lot of these stories, not all of them, guys, but a lot of them is human stupidity. And I literally I was going through some of these stories today, and I was like, actually. I'm actually in shock. Like
really?
Legit. Yeah. Some of them. Okay. The first couple I'm going to tell you are like more just like shocking. And then there's some that are a little bit sad as well, where I'm just like, again, people being so fucking stupid. And yeah.
Okay. So
let's do it. We're going to dive right in. So first story, dive right in there in the deep end, So the first story, I don't know if you caught wind of this, Rose. So I feel like so much weird shit goes on TikTok. Like, I feel
TikTok
like TikTok
is like a whole universe of weird shit.
Exactly. Like, I don't get it. There's like all these challenges and everything else. Like, it's just too much. And basically, I guess I didn't realize. Well, I knew that Texas was having this like some pretty extreme weather down in the south of the states.
Yes.
They were getting like, you know, snow and
Right.
cold, and it like affected a bunch of, you know, people's, I guess people were cut off from water supply.
Yeah,
and
they lost power. That itself is a
Yeah.
huge story. A lot of people, some people died. Quite a few people died.
Yeah.
Because they lost power because, you know, a place like Texas, they're not used to that kind of extreme
kind of-
weather. Like we're used to it.
Exactly.
Like we can deal with minus 30 because we're used to that. I don't know how cold it was in Texas, but it looked pretty damn
was
cold to
cold.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and part of the thing is our infrastructure as
Yeah.
well is built more for that,
Exactly.
right? But you know, anytime you go below like minus 15, you can run into some serious problems. So
Yeah.
like even in Calgary, one of the biggest things and issues are around, well, not biggest, but like for example with water supply, if pipes freeze, if the water in pipes freeze, they can actually burst because you know when water freezes, it actually like expands.
Right.
So it can like break pipes and it just causes so much havoc, especially in places that are not used to it because they wouldn't have like extra protection of pipes and all that kind of stuff because they would never have to deal with that sort of stuff. So, you know, all this is going on in Texas, you know, shit's hitting the fan. And I guess a bunch of TikTok users were like, and I don't even know if they were believing it or if they were like just being idiots, but they were attempting to push a conspiracy theory claiming that the snow that happened in Texas was fake. So
What?
like people were going on like basically from my understanding is people would go onto TikTok and they would like grab a piece of snow or like a snowball and put a lighter up to it and it wasn't like melting, like the snow wasn't melting and people were like, look, the snow's not melting. It's not real. It's, you know, this is all fake snow. It's a government conspiracy.
Oh my
blah, blah, blah.
God.
They were sharing videos. So so TikTokers continued to share videos saying the snow from the brutal winter storms has been engineered by the government.
Wow.
And then yeah.
Continue.
I mean, what do you even like people? What?
I mean, I feel like people have a lot of not faith, but a lot of like almost respect for the government to be able to do such intricate, you know, things like creating snow in an entire state. Like,
I know.
And also like, you know, fabricating an entire global pandemic. They like somehow think that the governments are, you know, governments in Canada, I don't know about anywhere else, but like they can barely hold together, you know, a call system, let alone
Oh my
create,
God.
you know, fabricate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just, how do you have so much like faith in the government?
Well,
not faith. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, they think
I know what you
highly of
mean.
the government almost. Like, they think the government is capable of doing such things. I'm like, wow. I mean, that'd be kind of
Exactly.
amazing, actually.
As someone that has recently had to call Revenue
God.
Canada, and I literally
Oh my God,
spent
it's so bad.
2 days, each day, minimum of like 2 or 3 hours waiting in like hold lines just to speak to somebody. I can tell you right now that I do not think that the government is organized enough to make a snowfall in a state, guys. Like, come on, let's get our shit together. And
So what was the
also,
reasoning
like,
for the government creating fake snow?
well, they didn't give a reason. They just said that the government's doing this. I don't know. They didn't give any reasons to it. They just said it's a conspiracy.
And was it not cold, my friends in Texas? Like, was it not cold? Because snow isn't
Exactly.
just, you know, you don't just put a lighter to the snow. You can also feel the temperature in the air, my friends.
I know. And like, again, to your point though, you have to ask yourself if there's like a conspiracy theory or like whatever, like this particular fake snow situation, like people that are creating these TikToks and like trying to push this narrative, it's like, ask yourself why the government would do that. Like, what benefit to the Texas government would it have to create a havoc in Texas, you know, with bursted water pipes and power going out to like 1/3 of Texas, apparently people dying. Like, how does that benefit the government at all?
I don't know.
Like, I mean,
maybe they're trying to, well, this might be a stretch, but maybe they're trying to say that the government is trying to push global warming agenda. Because some people, I saw this one, oh my God, it was so, like, I actually wanted to crawl, like, into a dark hole because it was so stupid. I guess, like, some, like, Republican, you know, like, some people don't believe in global warming, right?
yeah.
And, like, I don't know who he was. I think he was, like, maybe someone in government, I'm not sure. Some guy like tweeted or wrote on Facebook something like, "Oh, you stupid libtards, like liberals, like you guys think global warming's real. How do you explain the snow in Texas? Like, look how cold it is in Texas." I'm like, this is literally what people are saying when they're talking about global warming. This type of this type of crazy weather, this type of, unpredictable, weird things happening. It's not just everywhere is getting warm. Like,
exactly.
oh my God.
I know that this is the thing that people forget. And it's so funny because I literally was at the grocery store the other day by my house. And
oh my God,
did your earplug go out again?
Oh, there you go. We're back.
Oh, goddamn, Rose. The professionalism. But it was in the grocery store, and I heard this person talking to the cashier that was in front of me. And it was during that really big cold snap, right?
Yeah.
And that we had, because we had like a week of like minus 20 or over minus 20. And the person at the till was like, "See, they're talking about global warming. Well, obviously they don't live in fucking Alberta."
Shut up.
And I was just like,
who said this? Somebody at the till?
This person, in front of me.
Was it
going
an old
through the
person?
No, they were like probably our age. You know what I mean? Like
the
it was
front door.
Yeah.
I need to move out of this fucking province.
I know. I was like, but you're right. You make a really good point. It's like global warming. Overall, it means that the Earth's temperature is rising, right? The whole world, the temperature is rising. That doesn't mean that we're not going to get cold weather, but it means there's going to be huge shifts in, weather patterns, ocean currents, all kinds of shit that's impacted by this. And it's like just crazy to me that people are like, if anything, all of these like crazy weather patterns that we're getting and these more intense storms and all of this stuff should reinforce that narrative and the truth of global warming is a thing, right, guys? Like, that's what I'm not like. I'm just like not following it. It's
like these people did not do an ounce of research about it, right? So because if you like literally look into it for 2 seconds, you know that it's not just about, everywhere has to get warmer. That's not what global warming is. Like, it's exactly what you said. It's like so many different things, like basically just shit's hitting the fan. Okay.
Exactly. Because they said too. I think it was in that David Attenborough documentary or something. But I remember they were saying we went through like a really nice period where we had like very consistent weather. Like weather patterns, you know what I mean? Like, like some places get spring, summer, fall. Some have like a wet and a dry season. And like the consistency of it was like just like always we're these like same patterns. But now we're getting these like huge shifts and like weird things happening, and people are like, "Whoa, it can't be global warming." And it's like, okay, well, this conversation's over.
You cannot be helped. Goodbye.
Exactly. Like, sorry about that. But yeah. Well, Rose, if that story didn't make you feel, like renewed faith in humanity, wait till the next couple.
What's next, Daniel? Is this also on TikTok?
No, yeah. The next couple are all like, I don't know.
What is wrong with
What is
TikTok?
going on TikTok right now? Seriously, though.
Is it because they're like all young people? No, it's not even just all young people, though, but I assume that some of these people are young, like the one that did the snow thing. I assume they're young.
Probably, but like...
I mean, not to blame all young people. I know that not all young people are stupid, but like TikTok... It's because everyone's on TikTok, so like it's bound to have some dumbass people.
This is so true. Okay, so the next one, we talked about this briefly in our last I think it was our last podcast, but there was this girl this lady that went viral on TikTok for basically using a product called Gorilla Glue. So Gorilla Glue is like this like super adhesive that you use. It's like super glue basically. And this woman like maybe a month or two ago, she was like doing her hair, ran out of hair product, so she put this like really strong super glue in her hair. Went viral because she filmed a video of herself being like, "Guys, like my hair doesn't move. I can't shave my head. My hair is literally stuck to my scalp." And she's like, "It's been like this for a month." And she had to go, and she had to go and get surgery, right? So that was the first thing that happened. Well, oh my God. I can't with people. I just can't, okay? Listen to this.
Oh God.
So that girl that did that, her name was Tessica Brown, the one that did like the slicked her hair back and glued it and whatever, right?
Sure.
Oh God.
What does she do now?
It wasn't her. It was someone else. A man from Louisiana thought that the Gorilla Glue girl, that's what everyone's been calling her, was lying about her ordeal and embarked on...
So he tried it.
Oh, he tried it all right. Embarked on investigating how strong the adhesive is himself. He basically... oh my God. He basically took a red drink cup, super glued it, and stuck it on his mouth because he thought that he'd be able to just get it off from the moisture from his mouth or whatever. Like he thought it wouldn't be a big, a big thing. Basically ended up having to go to the hospital to get it removed, obviously. And I just think to myself, and he was 37 years old, this man.
Oh my God. Why?
It's just crazy.
Continue.
It's just crazy. So
is that the end of the story?
That's the end of his story. And then there was another person on TikTok, who was already kind of.
I'm actually
kind of a famous. I guess she was not famous, but she's got a bit of a following. Avania Reyes, I guess her name is, and she saw the Gorilla Glue girl go big and get viral from her videos and stuff. So what does she do? Gorilla Glues her hair and films the whole thing. She ends up having to go to the hospital. It's just stupidity, people.
It's also people wanting to go viral. I think that's a big part of it. Like we talked about last time, people just want to be famous for being stupid. They don't care why they become famous.
They just want to be famous.
They just want to be famous.
It just blows my mind. It literally I was okay, if I want to test how strong an adhesive is, let's say I'm I don't.
Glue it on something else, bitch.
Glue it on a heavy weight or something and dang, a test of actual to test the strength. Why would I think, actually, I'm going to see how strong this is, so I'm going to glue a plastic cup to my face?
Oh my God, can you imagine him showing up at the hospital?
Well, this is the thing that pisses me off. It's not just about, you have all these clout chasers, right? But then think about these people, and it's not just these TikTokers. This makes me pissed. Think about these people that are wasting time at hospitals, right? So while these idiots that shouldn't have been doing this in the first place are wasting resources and actually could negatively impact other people that maybe need vital surgeries or things like that. Because we all know hospitals are fucking busy, right? They don't got no time. Ain't nobody got time for nothing in a hospital. They're super
for super glue accidents.
They don't have time to be dealing with this bullshit. It makes...
Oh my God, honestly.
It makes me so angry because it's these people, I don't know.
Well, they best be in the States paying for that fucking service, not using the public health service.
I know.
They should start charging. If people are that fucking dumb, in Canada, you know what? I'm all for public health care, but when it comes to this type of stupidity, that shit needs to be paid for.
I agree. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
but if you're doing that kind of stupid shit, I honestly... Rose, these last couple weeks with these TikTok stories, I don't know. I'm really losing.
I think people are going a little bit insane as well, maybe. I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're going insane.
That's true. I think maybe you're right. People are, but I get it. People are emotional and everything's getting all weird because of the lockdown. But again, why are you engaging in this?
Oh my God, honestly. But they probably went viral, didn't they?
They did, all of them.
They got what they wanted.
Exactly. The second girl that I was telling you about that did it, that super glued her hair, she blew up as well, apparently. So it's almost
But are people actually following these people, or does that one video?
See, this is what I'm
up?
thinking. I'm thinking it's that one video because, like you said before, remember the guy that had his girlfriend shoot him or something to post a video. Again, people, you have to think about this. You want to go viral, right? You want to become famous. All these people are hungry for fame. But then it's if you become famous for that, what's your next move? That's going to be 15 minutes. What's next? You know what I mean?
What are you going to super glue next?
Are you going to be the person that super glues all of their different appendages and is at the hospital every other week?
Oh my God.
You know?
Honestly, I can't.
It's just bad. So bad.
I'm actually I actually can't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this mentality because it's why would you want to become famous for being so stupid?
That's what I don't. Well, that's what I don't get.
I don't want people to think that I'm stupid.
Exactly. Even when I was a young kid, when I was young, in my 18, 19, 20, yeah, I would do stupid things sometimes. I granted, on nights out and whatever else, but never, even when I was that young, was there ever any point where I was I want to just become famous for whatever I can do. Do you know what I mean? Give me some super glue or, get me a shotgun or, you know what I mean? What, I've never.
It's the issue with this type of these platforms. that kind of reward people. The thing is, here's the thing. Back in the day, you know, when we didn't have technology and we had to survive in the wild, these types of people would not survive, okay? No. Survival of the fittest, my friends. Darwin fucking gets rid of these types of people. But in today's day and age, with technology and TikTok, this type of behavior is rewarded now.
I know. This is what's annoying. It's like, that's part of the problem. Like, part of the problem is that this behavior is rewarded, right? Like, if these types of videos didn't go viral, and if these didn't get that, like, that, you know, whatever the clout is that they're chasing, then they wouldn't do it, right? Like, a lot of people wouldn't be encouraged to do this kind of stuff, right? So it's just, so bad. So bad. So bad. Like,
oh God.
You just, before you do stuff, just like ask yourself. I mean, I'm saying this after I got like super drunk the other night, but you know, ask yourself.
That's different.
Yeah. Honestly, these people, like, I'm speechless.
These people, like, were they drunk? Were they high? Like, I just can't imagine soberly putting that shit up there.
No.
You know? That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They just wanted to become famous because they posted that shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like maybe you're stupid and you super glue your fucking hair, but you posted that for a reason.
Exactly.
You don't have to post it right away. It's not live. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think it's live.
No, none of it was live.
Was it live? No.
So this.
You're posting that shit.
Yeah.
That makes you extra stupid.
You're actively, it's like those people like, let's not forget, guys, all of the stuff that we see generally on social media has been edited, has been whatever. So whatever people are posting up there, none of it is like, you know, like you said, like a live spur of the moment, like, oh, I'm just gonna, unless it's a live stream, obviously, but like,
well, some of it's live. Yeah. If it's live stream.
But
yes.
like all of the videos, all of that stuff, like that's meticulously edited, put together, posted. So when you see,
well, maybe not meticulously.
That's true. So when you see this like crazy shit, even on YouTube or whatever else, remind yourself that one, the person was stupid enough to do that in the first place. And two, the person was extra stupid to post it online. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, it's so bad. Like, imagine.
Oh my God, honestly.
And especially with the internet nowadays, like, okay, like, let's say this girl that got famous for the Gorilla Glue or whatever, like, you know, her fame's gonna, like, that kind of fame I feel like is very fleeting. So it will be, maybe she'll be
100%.
big for like 3 months and she's gonna go away. Like, no one's gonna remember, like, or whatever. And then imagine she's going to apply for jobs. Everyone, you know, most employers will do a quick Google search on people and they're gonna have that whole story come up. Like,
yep.
Is that what you want? Is that like, come on, just think a little bit.
Yep.
Just use your brain a little bit, you know?
They don't need a job. They're TikTok famous.
Oh my God. Guys, there's something wrong with our social media world, you know?
There is something wrong with our social media world. I agree.
God.
Oh God.
And our next.
Okay, what's next, Daniel? What other stupid shit is going on TikTok?
Well, this isn't a TikTok one. This is just actually freaking.
Oh.
This is very sad. And I'm like.
Oh God, what happened?
So it's not actually like a recent story. Like, it didn't happen like, but there's a lot more people are talking about it right now. And it's around this like not recent, but like the last kind of year or so since coronavirus, there's been like a massive spike in hate crimes against Asians.
Oh.
And there has been,
yes, I've heard.
Yeah, there's been some really like big ones that have happened recently. One of them was this year, I guess, a gentleman, 84-year-old man. Okay, why are people attacking an 84-year-old man? So an 84-year-old man from Thailand died in late January after being attacked on his morning walk in San Francisco. Days later, and I actually saw the video of this one, and this one is fucking depressing as well. Days later, you see this guy, 91-year-old Asian man, was walking and was violently shoved to the ground in Oakland's Chinatown. So somebody just like literally like started walking past him, pushed him so hard down to the ground and just ran off. Like, so
oh my
crazy.
God.
And
I didn't read the details of these things because it like upsets me.
Yeah.
But like I know that there's been like an increase in the violence and stuff. It's why? And these are like old people. Why? This is like the scum of the earth. Like attacking weak people like that.
That's another.
It's just so like, it's just a whole new level of like scum.
Yeah.
You know, there's racism and then there's you are such a piece of shit that you're going to attack an 80-something, 90-something-year-old person.
Yeah. It's just like, those things, like obviously racism in general at any level bothers me. But you're right. It takes it to the next level because it just really, really bothers me when it's vulnerable people. Like when it's people that are older, because like it always just makes me think like my grandparents or like, you know, and naturally and we're all going to get there, you know, hopefully gonna get to an older age where we are going to be frail. And like, I know that like, for example, my grandma, she's getting older now. When she like goes and walks to the store, she gets a bit more nervous just naturally because she's older.
Yeah.
And then you see shit like this and I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
did they get caught? Did these people?
It didn't say that they were caught. 'Cause a lot of these, I feel like they were like almost like hit and runs. So I don't know if some of these people have been caught. I hope they have.
What kind of a sociopath does that?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's just so crazy. Like what? Like
how do you have so much hatred for someone that you don't even know?
Exactly.
Is another question.
But this is
like, I mean, I have so many questions.
Yeah, me too. Like again, how do you violently attack somebody? You're right, that you don't know. First of all, you don't even know that person.
Yeah.
That means all of that hatred and everything is built up purely on the fact that they're Asian. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what? Like.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. All of these stories are making me so speechless.
Oh my God. Seriously.
Yeah. It's just
and I thought we were over this. Like, I know that like in the beginning of COVID, I mean, it was stupid from the beginning to blame Asians for a pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially Asians in like North America. That has nothing to do with China. But then I thought we were over it. Like now it's a worldwide pandemic, fuckers. And now actually Asia is handling it much better than the rest of the world.
Exactly.
And the numbers in Asia are much lower. So what the fuck, dude?
I think that
what the fuck?
I thought that we were as well, but I think that there's been ongoing throughout this entire pandemic. And I don't know 100% the stats, but it was actually on the news today as well. They were saying like hate crimes in like Vancouver and Toronto and some other places and even in the States and stuff. Hate crimes against Asians have gone up like 700%.
Tremendously.
Like hugely.
Oh my God.
And again, all fueled from the fact that the virus came from China. Like people are so like, this is a virus, people. This is a virus. It's not somebody in China made this or, you know, Asian people are trying to give us this virus. Like what is wrong with people?
I don't get it. The problem is though, like there's no logic in these people. Like, of course like anyone listening to this right now, like understands what we're saying, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
true.
not even, we don't even have to explain it.
Yeah.
But like these people that are doing it, it's like, we can't, like, there's no logic.
I know.
There's no logic.
This is the,
do you think it's partially because it's like people are, I'm not trying to like, you know, obviously make any excuses, but like, it's like hard times and everyone, you know how like we were talking about like when things are difficult, like economically or socially, we have, you know, these problems maybe with our government or our, you know, in the whole system as a whole. And we want to find something to blame.
Yeah.
So we blame, you know, that's why it, you know, when things are difficult, you know, these hate crimes just
they increase,
rise, you know?
I think that's actually a really good point because I think you're right. I think, you know, economically, there's a lot of people that are struggling. Like, you know, we talk about this quite a bit on the podcast about the whole, like, you know, the gap between the rich and the poor growing and the middle class is getting, you know, pushed out in a lot of different countries. Not all countries, but a lot. Especially you see this in the US and in Canada, you know, a lot of places.
And in Canada, yeah. It's getting worse.
Exactly. So there are people, and I do agree, like think that could be part of it. I mean, it's hard to explain racism and, you know, all of this stuff. So, but I think you're right. I think there's people that are disgruntled with their own situations. And again, instead of getting angry, with, I guess, more the system and why that's the case, like why they're in the situation that they're in, they kind of lash out and focus on other things. And because this coronavirus has impacted everyone so much economically as well, because we've had to shut down tons of stuff, again, they're taking that anger and misguiding it to Asian people or to, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah. I just can't, like, why would you attack old people? I mean, again, you shouldn't attack anybody.
Yeah.
But like to attack like that, that's so cowardly to attack an old person. It's because they know that they can't fight back.
This is it.
Like, how cowardly are you? Like, fucking Matt, you know what? You want to fight Asians? Like, fucking fight them then. bitch.
Yeah, but this is the.
Fuck.
But that's why I hate when you hear any kind of hate crime's horrible anyway. But
Yeah.
like when you hear against somebody that's 91 years old, like I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
How did your parents first of all not raise you better? But secondly,
Where were your parents?
Exactly.
Seriously.
And like the fact is, that they're doing that because they're a fucking coward and because they know, if it was somebody that might have been, more able-bodied and stuff, they probably wouldn't have done it because there might be, a little bit of more backlash and stuff.
Altercation.
Because these people are strategic as well in some ways, because I feel like they pick on people that look vulnerable, right? Like they're not going to go after somebody that they think could fight them back, right? They're going to go for these people that, and it's just so,
Oh my God, what is happening with our society?
I know.
We have failed as a society that this is happening. I feel like it's like going backwards,
I know.
I was actually saying this on Instagram the other day. I'm like, it's going backwards. Like, this is not normal.
No.
Like, how are we like regressing? Is that the term? Like, we
That
are
is.
literally not. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I feel like a lot of the political movements that were happening and stuff, especially after like you had Brexit, you have, when Donald Trump got into power and like he was talking about, building the wall with Mexico and being super ultra nationalistic. And I was like, what is going on with the world? Like I did feel like, and I still feel like we're regressing in many ways where I'm like, a lot of the issues that we're facing are global issues, not isolated to one country. So like, like climate change, like we talked about. And, the only way that we're going to start like working together to combat that is not by being so like nationalistic and, only looking out for your own country. Like we need to like come together as like a nation of people, humanity, but like, fuck, you just have people like this that are fucking,
How do we stop it? The thing is, though, I saw a bunch of campaigns on like Instagram and stuff, people like spreading awareness. I was posting some things, but I'm like, is this even like, again, I don't want to be cynical, but I'm like, is this helpful? Like, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't see a problem with spreading the awareness.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is this going to actually stop it from happening? Because if I mean, I'm trying to get into the mind of somebody that would do something like this. If I saw some like posts on Instagram about stop spreading Asian hate or stop spreading racism, that's not going to make me not racist.
Exactly.
Is it?
No.
I'll probably just be like, this is stupid.
I think
like, what's the solution other than,
I don't know. I think because it's such a complex issue, right? Like how do you combat racism, right? Like how do you like you said before, these are people that aren't logical, right? Like people that like logically think about certain things, like about the coronavirus and everything else, they wouldn't be like this. You know what I mean? So, and one of the most challenging things to do is have a conversation with someone that isn't logical, right? Like, cause you can't talk sense to them basically. So how do you, that's a good question. Like, how do you combat racism?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think like they need to catch these people and do a psychological analysis.
Oh, God damn.
And talk to them and see what the fuck fueled this type of, rage.
Yeah.
Toward, the most vulnerable types of people.
Exactly.
Like it's.
I do think.
That's so sad.
I know. Could like imagine seeing somebody like.
Oh my God,
shove down a 91-year-old person in front of you.
Oh my God, it breaks my fucking heart.
Yeah, like
seriously,
it's so bad. It's so bad. But I think to that question about how do we as a society combat that? I mean, I don't know the answer, right? Like I actually don't know. But I think like one potential thing that we need to do is like really focus on that. I mean, I think they do so somewhat, but like in classrooms and stuff, and make sure that it's like start education at a young age, and I think not all racism is coming from a certain, what am I trying to say? Not all racism is formed this way, but I do think some people that are racist or, maybe, what am I trying to say? It's some people that are like that. It's because they haven't necessarily been exposed to that many people of different nationalities as well. So that's why I think it's important. I mean, it's hard in certain communities where there's, if it's a predominantly white community, but also I think it's important where there's possibility to do it is at a young age, have kids mixing. Do you know what I mean? Like make sure that kids are all playing together because I think that will help as well. You know what I mean? Like it helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm not saying it's the answer, but like, it's just, oh, fuck.
God. But it's like places like, Vancouver and San Francisco, they have tons of Asians.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's extra weird to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
there are literally so many Asians in those cities. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand, you know, it's not like some Asian person was randomly walking around like the whitest neighborhood or whatever it was. Not that that would be okay, but it's like in cities like this, you are used to seeing so many Asians.
Yeah.
So it's like to have these types of things happen in those cities, it's like even more like disturbing in a way.
That's true. Because you're right. This doesn't
that's
happen in
weird.
small, a small town.
Yeah,
Or
like
these
Oakland,
are in big.
isn't that like, that's like beside San Francisco, or is it in, like, I think it's like in that same area.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where Oakland is, but I think it's around there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think it's in California, right?
Yeah. And there was
Yeah.
it's in California. So there's Oakland, I think, San Francisco. Another one took place in a 64-year-old woman was robbed outside a Vietnamese market in San Jose.
Oh my God.
Another person was attacked in the New York subway. So these are all like places like big multicultural
Yeah.
cities, So
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
guys,
Like, it's actually insane.
yeah, this is like not this week is not making me very happy. You know what I mean? Like all of these stories are so fucking like either people being extra stupid or people doing this like horrible stuff. And it's like there's so many other things we can be focusing our energy and our time on that's so much more productive and so much more beneficial. Like these people are like, disrespectful, wasting time, wasting resources that could be better spent in other areas. You know what I mean? Like
Oh God. Who are these people? I actually want to like know who they are. Like, are they like what do they do? Are they teenagers? Are they,
who knows?
Are they mentally, I mean, they must be somewhat mentally deranged to do something like this. I don't know.
They must have some issues with them.
God. My faith in humanity is just plummeted.
I know. Well, speaking of, how we're saying like a part of it, and again, we don't know what for sure is like the root cause of a lot of this stuff, like what exactly is going through people's minds. But, we're talking about how, there's a lot of issues going on with like more and more people kind of slipping below the poverty line and really, really struggling financially. Right. And I don't know, I think I briefly spoke to you about this, but one thing that actually blew my mind, like actually legit blew my mind, like I'm mind blown right now, guys, is the, I didn't realize the level of the homeless crisis that's going on in LA. And in that surrounding area.
I didn't know you didn't know this. It's bad, Daniel. People are leaving. Yeah.
I know. I'm like literally, I thought people were leaving.
How did you find out?
Well, this is what happened. Long story short, guys, I knew that there was like there was quite a bit of homeless people in LA. Like I did know that. And I knew that there's like that certain area called Skid Row that's like not really the best part of LA, But anyway, I was watching this Netflix series that has recently come out. It's called like The Disappearance at the Cecil Hotel. And basically that hotel is smack dab in Skid Row.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how, there's a lot of like, homeless people around that area. And I just was like, what are they talking about? So I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube. And I guess in the last like 10 years, the crisis in LA has just gone from like bad to like crazy. And there was like people like, anybody can like Google this now, guys. Like if you just like Google like on YouTube or whatever, and there's people now that go like that went around and was like filming like what it's like in these areas. And it was like, I think Skid Row is now like a 50 block radius of like, they call them homeless encampments, I guess, of just like, I've never seen anything like it.
Like
it was
tents.
All down the entire street though. Like there's nowhere to walk on the sidewalk. There's just like tents, but also like tons of like shopping carts and chairs and garbage and everything. And they were saying like the conditions in Skid Row, that particular area of LA, has gotten so bad. Like I guess the UN have said it's like what did they say? It's like a human
rights issue.
Yeah, human rights issue. It's a crisis. Like because also there's like, I guess in that area, there's only 9 public washrooms. There used to be more, but they had issues with like people charging and, all this kind of stuff. Like gets crazy over there. And they have 9 public washrooms. So a lot of people are just like, doing their business in buckets and like dumping it into the street.
God.
And they just said it's bad.
And I heard that like now it's not even just Skid Row. Before it was kind of like specifically in Skid Row. Not that that's, fixing the issue, but like now it's like gotten so bad that it's like everywhere. Like there's homeless people everywhere. And the problem is that apparently the state, obviously I don't live there. I don't know. But like, according to a lot of people that live there or have left, they say that like the state just like doesn't do enough. And clearly, like, if this has been an issue for so long and it's getting worse, that means nothing is being done about this.
Yeah.
And that's so bad. And like, I heard that in California, they like have really high taxes. So where are the taxes going? Like, what are you spending the money on? This is a crisis. Like, I don't understand.
It's huge. It's like, honestly, when I was watching these videos, because you're right, it's not just in Skid Row. There was like a bunch on Skid Row. And then there's another place called Venice Beach, I think. That's like,
yeah. And it's like a trendy place. Venice Beach is trendy.
Yeah. Well, you should see it now. Like, honestly, people were like going down, and it's like literally like just like I don't know if I would want to walk around those places at night. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so, and not to like be disrespectful to, a lot of these people are in hard times and everything else, but they were saying like so many of them have like substance abuse issues and, mental health issues and, they're obviously in a very desperate situation. So like it would be, not safe to walk around there at night.
Oh, for sure. It would increase violence for sure. Like if you're on the street, like, there's a chance that you're going to resort to violence. There is, because you're on the street. Like it's going to be a difficult time, man. You know?
And I was like, when I was seeing all this stuff, I was like reflecting like on my own life and like what I would do. Do you know what I mean? Like if I actually like what would your life
like if you like lost your home?
Yeah, and I just ended up on the street. Like I was thinking to myself, like because you would have no money, you'd have like nothing. So like every day is like, how do you get food? Do you know? There's like so many things.
Assuming that like you don't have your family to support you. Like I can't even imagine, to be honest. Like, and it's sad because some people like were living normal lives, like they had homes, and then they end up in that situation. A lot of people actually they end up homeless.
Well, there was a lot of people.
What would you do? Oh my God, what do you do?
I don't know. And it's like also like where would you sleep? Like you would, and a lot of people like, I watched this like mini documentary series with this like really sweet girl that like went around and talked to a bunch of people that were homeless, like asked them their stories and everything. And like a lot of the people, they did just like face hard times, she also did a like interesting segment where it wasn't just like fully like homeless people. It was like people that were, technically homeless, but there's a lot of people also in California, which I didn't realize, living in like a van or like an RV. And then they'll just move them around because one of the guys was like, he's like, rent's just like too expensive. So like, I just live in this RV with 3 of my friends and we just like drive it around to different spots. And she was like, does the noise, because they were right on a main like highway and stuff. He's like, oh, you get used to it, And I was just like, wow, like there's something wrong. There's something wrong where when, housing, part of the problem is that the housing has become so expensive in California. Like, and people can't afford it. So this is supposed to be very expensive. Yeah. Another issue that they were saying though too is part of it is because a lot of people that were homeless in California actually aren't from California. They're like from other states that have moved to California. And the reason is if you're homeless, it's better to be in a state like California because
it's warm.
The weather's so much better. Yeah. Whereas if you're in like New York or something.
A lot of people like migrated to California when they were already homeless.
Yeah. They were like more transient people had like moved there because it's warmer and how do
you even get there? Jeez. Do you think they hitchhike?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I guess they could take like a bus maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. If I was homeless, I would go somewhere warm.
Yeah.
But but that also creates issues because, especially if you're like, I'm sure men also have to deal with this as well. But if you're a woman and you're on the street and you have to sleep on the street, that's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Like, well, they said pretty much every single woman that's been on Skid Row has been assaulted. Yeah, I can't remember what the stat was. It was like something ridiculous. But like, if you think about it, yeah. And like another thing too, like what about like, your monthly cycle? How do you deal with that when you don't have like a proper bathroom and stuff? Like, what do you do?
Holy crap. I didn't even think about that.
Like even just like our day-to-day things that we take for
taking
granted.
Your shit,
or shower or any of those things. Like, it's like, how do you even do it? But yeah, like their UN has like been like, this is a human rights issue. Like this is insane. And like the videos made it look like LA looked like a third world, worse than
for sure.
yeah.
But this is the problem with like media and the way that, you know, these places are portrayed, you know, like especially I think LA is just the epitome of just what you see in the media is just so different from the reality. Like I get that there are, of course, very rich people, like celebrities live in this. And that's another like such a sad part of it is that this is a city where it's like literally some of the richest people live in LA, right? In Hollywood. And at the same time, you have such a huge homeless crisis. Like you literally have the Hollywood Hills. They could probably even see the Hollywood sign maybe from wherever the fuck they are. And then you have just like people just, you know, living in tents, like women getting assaulted and like just living on the street. And it's just like, it's so sad. And it's, I don't know. It's a big issue. It's a big issue.
It's huge. It's huge. And it's gotten so bad now. Like, honestly, just like guys,
so
the people that are listening, just watch one video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like I've like, it wasn't even just like I'm saying, it wasn't just like a few tents being set up. We're talking thousands of people just lined up on streets. Like,
I wonder what
insane.
I wonder what the numbers are in terms of like how much it's increased in the last few years. And I've heard that like since COVID, obviously like the people on the brink of homelessness has gone up just like so much. So it's probably going to get worse in the next like couple years because of the COVID crisis, you know?
It's just,
oh God.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Imagine being in that situation. I can't even, I honestly can't.
I know. I like I said, when I was like seeing this stuff, I was like reflecting and I was like so thankful, first of all, that I have, you know, family and, you know, to support me and everything else. And I was just thinking like, if I was ever in that situation, like I just, cause think about how scary it would be even just to be like walking around being like, I need to find somewhere to sleep.
Oh my God.
Like maybe I can just go in this bush or something, but like you would never properly sleep, right? Like, cause you'd always be worried.
Yeah.
Like one guy that she interviewed was like, he's like, you know, it's really sad. He's like, I'll find a place to sleep, but then I'll wake up in the morning and, you know, my shoes will be gone. So then I'll have to like, someone stole his shoes. So then he's like, I'll have to go walk around trying to find shoes. And like, it's just like crazy.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, even in, San Francisco, like the last time I went, there was just so many homeless people. I was just shocked. And it's just like, and in San Francisco is like a smaller kind of like, I think it's more densely populated. Like it's smaller. So you can just see it all. And it's just so sad. Like, I don't know.
Did you notice? Cause I've never been to LA, but you've been to LA. Did you notice like a lot of like tent set up and stuff or?
Not when I went, but LA is very, again, I went a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I have heard that in the last few years, it's gotten like way worse. I don't know how much it could have gotten worse in a couple of years, but like, based on what a lot of people are saying, it seems to be a big issue. Like people are talking about it more and more now. But yeah, I didn't notice anything mainly because, you know, LA is very like widely dispersed. So like, unless you like, but I thought this is what I thought. I thought again, there's Skid Row. And then outside of that, it's like not really, you know, they're all kind of like populated in Skid Row. But I think now they're kind of like going into different places. But
it's everywhere.
like I didn't notice it personally for me. But again, I wasn't walking around too much. I took Ubers to basically everywhere I went. And I went to certain specific locations. And I probably didn't go to any like neighborhoods, like rough areas or anything like that.
Yeah. Like you didn't go for a walk down Skid Row, did you?
No, I did not. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then even in Canada, in Vancouver, we have our East Hastings Street. You know, that's our like Skid Row. You know,
well, and
I
in
was
Vancouver,
shocked.
but like,
have you seen
really
East Hastings?
I don't know if I have, to be honest, because last time, like every time I go to Vancouver again, I go to specific spots, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm like mainly like, I go to like the downtown area, walk around and stuff. And I just never have been to East Hastings, but I've heard it's like one street and it just gets like really like
it's bad,
dodgy.
We drove past it and we were actually staying like right beside, because we were staying in West Hastings, which is pretty close. Yeah. So we're in downtown and like downtown's kind of dodgy in general, just like in Vancouver, I noticed. There's a lot of areas that are like a little dodgy. But we were driving past on East Hastings and it was just like, I mean, it's definitely not as bad as Skid Row, but like it was still a pretty big radius of like, just like really sketchy looking area. There was definitely some tents. And it just looked, I was like, God, this is supposed to be one of the, greatest cities in the world that we're in,
Yeah.
Like it's Vancouver. Vancouver is always rated as like one of the top 10 cities.
Top 10 livable cities or something like that.
So it's like, if that's happening in Vancouver, it's like, I don't know.
Well, and again, a big part of that, it goes back to the same issue that they're having in LA, which is affordable housing.
Oh my God.
And look at Vancouver, how expensive it is there, right? So that's part of it as well. Like if you're working like a minimum wage job, like you would be struggling. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so expensive. Like, so
you probably live in like a shoebox. It'll be like London.
Oh God, London.
Oh God, it's so sad. Oh.
Even in London, I noticed in my last year there, so this is 2019, that there was definitely a massive increase. Like I felt like, and it was funny because not funny. I like noticed it and I was like, maybe this is just in my head because of where I'm working and like I'm just maybe coming across more people that are like homeless and stuff. And then I asked, I was out with a friend and they were like, they mentioned it as well. They said, is it just me or do you feel like around the Covent Garden area and other parts of London we're just seeing more and more people that are like sleeping on the street? And I was like, yes, like definitely. And I did some research and it was like there was like a 30 or 40% increase in homelessness. And yeah, it was really, I remember one of the most insane was I went to, do you remember, what was it called? Stratford. And what was the mall called? Westfields?
Westfield. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Westfields and Stratford. So Stratford was kind of like the more dodgy mall.
Yeah.
And Westfields was the nice one. But you had like the bus stop and whatever.
The middle
there
part.
There was like a strip. Yeah. There was like a strip right next to the Stratford Mall.
Yeah.
Where there was a homeless encampment. And I've never seen that there before. There was lines of people sleeping outside there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, whoa.
I mean, even when I was there, I don't remember, there being homeless people in Covent Garden. Like, I don't remember that. Covent Garden was always like a nice area for me. So like, it's definitely increasing. And like, it just shows like we've just failed as a society that we can't, there are literally people making billions upon billions of dollars and yet we can't take care of our homeless population. Like we have so many homeless people like living on the street.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
No, you're right. That there's like a big flaw in society when there is that kind of literally that big of a gap between a have and a have not. Do you know what I mean? Like you have people there that have more wealth than countries and you have people that literally have nothing are on the street and
so
we as a society are not. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. One thing I was going to comment on just randomly that I just noticed just now. I can't believe I didn't notice this whole hour that we've been talking. Did you dye your hair again?
Of course you didn't notice, Daniel. You never noticed anything about me.
No, yes, I do. I just noticed.
I did, Daniel. Oh, you just noticed. After an hour of speaking to me, you just noticed. Yes, I did, Daniel.
See, now I wish I didn't say anything now. I'm regretting even saying a word.
I was wondering. I'm like, well, of course he's not noticing anything, I mean, I'm used to it, Daniel. I'm used to you just never noticing anything about me. So.
Oh God damn! Is the green quite a hard color to keep?
Oh my God! Well, I changed and now I'm using Manic Panic. I used to use Arctic Fox, but this one actually doesn't bleed on my hands. Remember that last hair dye?
Oh, that's good. Oh,
so Arctic
my
Fox
God, that was bad.
Would bleed. I noticed that like it would bleed so heavily on my hands, and I just thought, oh, it's just it's just a hair dye, this happens. But with this brand, it's not, it's not bleeding. So I think I'm going to stick with this one. Do you like the color, Daniel, though? Not that you noticed.
I do.
Thank you.
I did notice it's very deep. It's like a deep kind of.
I like this color.
It's almost like a not a turquoise, but kind of like a.
Blue-green.
Yeah. Yes, blue-green, definitely.
I mixed blue and green.
It's very nice. I actually really like it. I do remember that one though when it was bleeding so much because we were at your house filming a video and then you were like you would touch your hair sometimes and literally your hand would look like I don't know like a Smurf's hand after and I was like Rose you need to go wash your hands
every single 2 seconds because I would touch my hair all the time. It was annoying.
Exactly.
But now I can touch it all I want, Daniels.
Oh God damn,
my card
Roses.
Is full. My face be no longer in the shot.
Oh, God damn,
my memory
Rose.
card is full. So you just going to have to look at Daniel's face for the rest of this podcast.
What do you mean, Roses?
Or you can utilize this footage right here, Daniels.
That's true. I'll have to extrapolate the Skype
I apologize
footage.
once again. My card is full as always.
God damn the unprofessionalism. Well, you know what? On that happy
yes.
note.
I mean, well, Daniel, we also have to record our goddamn Patreon exclusive. Woo,
yes.
woo, woo, woo.
We definitely do. And you know what the winner is? So we actually both have a little bit of homework to do.
Oh, shit.
So we did a poll, guys.
What?
And
on
for
our
our Patreon exclusive for February. Yeah. So we did a poll. And actually, there was a lot. Like, it was quite close. Like, there was a lot of votes. But the winner was our top 5 things.
What do you mean?
So, like, top 5 movies, music, all this kind of stuff. So we have to kind of, not come up with,
That'll
but,
be
like,
fun.
think about it and be like, okay, yeah, and then have a little chat about that. So that will be cool.
Okay. Oh, well, we're going to have to record it soon. So, guys, if you want to listen to that Patreon exclusive, then go on over to our Patreon,
And rewind.
which is patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast. The link will be down below in the description, in the show notes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss it. Come join our little family. Once again, you get one bonus episode every single month, and you also get the episodes a week earlier than everybody else. And all the episodes are ad-free. Yeah. It's awesome. It's a fun time. Join us over there, guys.
Exactly. And if you aren't already, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give us a little thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to write us a little note below. Give us your comments, your thoughts on the episode. And of course, check us out on Instagram at the SaVeg Podcast. And, if you are listening to us on Spotify or any of the podcasting platforms, most of them also have a following option. So you can click on that follow and then you'll get updates.
Follow us. Yeah. Give us a rating.
Exactly. So, yeah. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
Thanks so much. Yeah. Oh, Daniel, should we drink in the next Patreon exclusive?
Oh, god damn.
Not to reinforce the drinking habits. But I love drinking.
Let's think about it, okay? Maybe not for the February one, but how about for the March one?
Why, Daniel? Are you still having withdrawal symptoms?
Exactly. It'd be too soon because
you know what they say? It called the hair of the dog.
Oh, god damn. God damn. Well, we will discuss
Let's
this.
discuss.
Okay.
All right, I got a nice bottle of wine just waiting for me to drink it. Okay.
God damn. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.